Hello, everyone. We will be giving everybody a couple of minutes here to get logged in. So sit tight for a minute or so, and we will get started probably one past the hour. Hi, Megan.
Hello.
Let me look for Nick here. Maybe not yet. Hi, Matt. Jordan, I don't know if you've got a question, if you're just raising your hand or waving. We will talk logistics of getting our attention in just a moment. Looks like somebody has got their note taker in here, which is awesome. We are also recording. There you are, Nick. Let me promote you to a panelist. I don't know if it's like ejecting you. There we go. Awesome. All right, we will give everyone about 30 more seconds or so, and then we will get started. Start with intros from our side, and we'll just talk logistics around how today's going to work, what we're going to cover. And I will answer the most popular question, which is always, is this being recorded? It is. We are recording this. We are going to send it out afterwards. We typically just have to, mock up the email, get this video processed, and then we will send it out. So if you're not seeing it right away, that's okay. We are working on it. You will get the recording of this though afterwards. If you know somebody from your team who was not able to attend live but wants the recording or registered, once we send it out, you can send it out to anyone who needs it. And anyone who did register for the webinar will get a recording of this as well. We know you guys are busy, so it's very common that people can't attend live, but we'll make sure anyone who has attended gets a recording of this. With it being 2 past the hour, I am going to get started. We'll just start with some quick introductions. So, Megan, I will let you introduce yourself. Nick, if you want to then go second, and I will end and we'll start from there.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Kim. I'm Megan Rodino, the marketing manager here at Met My Customers. Really excited for Kim and Nick to dive into email history.
Yeah, and my name is Nick. I'm the senior product manager at MMC. I worked on the email history project that Kim is about to present, so excited to hear about it too.
Awesome. And for anyone who does not know me, my name is Kim Hayes. I am one of the training and onboarding specialists here at My Customers. A lot of familiar names going on in that attendees list. So good to see everyone I know. For anyone who does not know me, it's nice to meet you. What we are going to look at today, like Megan and Nick alluded to, is the email history new element of our email tool. So you might recall and say, hey, didn't you guys do an email webinar a couple months back? Well, we did. When we released the email feature, we released it in a way that we said, this is really helpful. This is going to help people bulk send out emails, bulk target prospects as they're kind of sending or going into that area, send recap emails, and really quickly capture emails being logged from Map My Customers. However, as people got started using it, there was some initial feedback, and we had some initial goals that we said after we release this, we want to make this a little bit better. We want to grow this feature. We want to improve this. And one of the big pieces of feedback we got was, well, I would love to see if somebody replies inside of Map My Customer. I'd love to be able to just manage my inbox from one spot, and having that in Map My Customers would be super helpful. And so that is what the email history is going to be doing for us. And that's what we are going to be walking through today. As a step back, I am going to quickly show some of the bulk email sending and also some of the improvements that maybe came out that were small or kind of slipped through the cracks that we didn't do a full webinar on. But there are some improvements that have come out since its initial launch that I'll kind of point out along the way. To set the scene, I am going to send some emails from here to start. I'm going to start us and do primarily the web version today. We will take a look at the mobile mobile version towards the end of the webinar. And the last thing I will highlight before we dive in, this is a premium feature. So if you are clicking through and following along with me, you might find that it is not turned on for your organization or that it has been turned on for your organization. We've got a number of people that are using this currently. If you do not have it turned on, it will take you to a form to express interest in that, and it will go directly to the Map My Customers support team. If you are the administrator for your account, you can reach out directly to your Map My Customers account manager. Throughout today's webinar, if you have any questions, there are two options. I honestly don't know the difference of why one is better than the other, but in your navigation bar at the bottom, there is a Q&A option, and there is also the chat. We will keep eyes on both of those as we are moving throughout today. So if you have any questions, please don't feel like you have to wait until the end. Pop those in there. If it is something that makes more sense to address at the end, we will. And at the end of the call, if there are any hand raises or people who want to ask any questions out loud, we will also open the space there. With all of that being said, all that housekeeping done, I'm going to get started by sharing my Map My Customers web version. Now, I am logged in as a demo account because obviously we've got a lot of people from a lot of different teams here. But this is generally what you see when you log into your Map My Customers web version. Now, the first webinar, we did go through all of the configuration and setup. You can find that in the knowledge base and step-by-step instructions on how to do this if need be. But I am already set up here. If this is newly turned on for your org and you have not set up your email preferences and settings, that is going to be step one. But we're not going to go through all of this today because our target and goal of today's webinar is reviewing the email history tab. Like I said, in order to review the email history tab, it probably is helpful to go through and send a couple emails so we can see those and work with them in that email history tab. Using the Map My Customers email functionality can be done from the desktop version or the mobile version. My preference is the desktop, but that might just be personal preference. It can be done in both. You can do it from the map view or the list view. And again, there is an entire webinar covering that. So we'll buzz through kind of sending the emails today, but there is a lot of resources you can use to find additional information there. Coming in here, if maybe I want to send an email out to specific contacts, maybe I'm inviting them to an event, or maybe I want to send them some marketing materials, and I can click through and choose different people that I'd like to contact. Now, you'll notice these are all Map My Customers people because these are people I'm going to harass with some emails right now. But I'm going to go ahead and hit this email button that shows up, whether in the list view or if you lasso from the map. Again, you do need this functionality turned on for your organization. You also need to set up your settings before you can do this. But once you have, you can go ahead and start composing an email from Map My Customers. There's different things going on in here, but for the most part, you're going to write this email just like you write any other email. Maybe I give it a subject like coming to NYC, and I start drafting up an email like, hey, everyone, I'm going to be in NYC next week. Would love to see you. That wasn't so bad. A lot of times when I type live, things go awry, but you'll see it's pulled in that signature from my settings that I set up. You'll see a couple of other things I do want to call out that are new, that are changed since we first released this. The first thing that's a little bit different since we released this is that you do have the ability to come in and add in emails a la carte. If I realized that I forgot to add Kim Hayes in here, I wanted to send her an email as well, I can come in and search up additional people, or if I was sending emails at the company level, additional companies that I would like to include in here. The second thing I've got going on that's a little bit new, a little bit different, is down at the bottom. The unsubscribe option did not exist previously, but now you have the ability to include that, especially if you're sending out something like mass marketing and you do want the ability for people to unsubscribe to that. If there are any legalities or rules around the way that you guys market, they have the option to add an unsubscribe option, or I can remove that option. You will note that when I'm sending this, For this example, again, they're all not my customers people, so it might be a little confusing, but this could be somebody from company A and somebody else from company B and somebody else from company C. All of these are going to send as individual emails. You'll notice this banner at the bottom just alerting you of that. It is not going to be one email where everyone is CC'd together. This is sending out 4 individual emails. The other things you have going on at the bottom are going to be different formatting options, inserting links, attaching files, or even using dynamic variables. Like if I want this to say, hi, and then include their first name actually. So instead of saying, hi, everyone, I make this a little bit more personal. You can also preview and see what this would look like if I was, say, Matt Sniff. What's this email going to look like when it comes to my inbox? And I'm going to see the hi, Matt, and the email itself that's going to list out. Apologize, my laptop was being a little slow earlier, so it looks like it's going to, there it goes, spin itself a little bit. Hey, Matt, I'm going to be in NYC next week. Would love to see you. It said, would to see you. So I spoke too soon. Would love to see you. But I can come in there and then add dynamic variables or use different elements here. I did see there is something, I think, in the Q&A, so I'll do a quick scan. And Nick is going to be typing up an answer there, and then I will read it aloud. So thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Coming in here, the other area I will highlight are the templates. If you are writing emails and you are consistently just copy paste, sending out the same marketing email, sending out the same, hey, I'm coming to New York email, you could save this as a template. When I come in and select template, you'll see different options. These are previous templates I've created, all about coming to New York. I'm not very creative here, but I can also save this one and maybe I say this is June marketing 2025 or whatever it's appropriate to name this template. Something else that has come out recently, if you are an admin or if you are a manager, you do have the ability to share these templates that you've created. Previously, the templates were kind of just for yourself, but now if you are an admin or someone on the marketing team and you say, hey, I wrote up this really good email, I used all the links that we need, it's got all the right dates, the times, the messaging, just use this template. Don't write your own email. I can come in and share the template that I've created. Now, this is again my test account, so we've got all kinds of Harry Potter people going on in here, but I could say, hey, I need Draco and I need Harry to both have access to this template, or I need everyone on Slytherin to have access to this template. When I share this out, they will automatically now in their dropdown have these templates that you have shared with them. So that is something that is new, that is different, that again, might have slipped through the cracks and you're like, hey, that's cool. Didn't know that was there now. Couple other things I will point out here, and then I will open and just read that question so everyone has that answer there. You do have the ability to send 700 emails per day. That is per user. So if you've got somebody on your team that is blasting out emails, sending 600, 700 every day, that does not impact you. Each user in your team is going to get 700 each. When I go ahead and send these, I do have the ability to get this pop-up letting me know that Matt My Customers is creating 4 activities for Nick, for Matt, for Angelo, and even for Kim that I added in afterwards. That is going to automatically create and document the activity. It's also going to autofill that relationship. So whatever company Nick is associated to and Matt, I can open that company and see this email activity. I'm going to go ahead and hit send and create here. Those are going to go on their way. I will point out in the upper right corner, there is a little email icon where I can open up the queue, see what's going on, see the status. Hey, these are still in the queue. And as it loads up itself, I can refresh this and see now this one has been sent. There's 3 more in the queue, but they're on their way. With that, I am going to pause and I will open up and just read those questions there. Oh, let me just read them so we have answers out loud. So question in the Q&A, if multiple records have the same email, will it send one email or will it send one email for each account? If only one email, which account will be selected if Dynamics fields are used? So for multiple records with the same email address, MMC does send multiple emails and creates multiple activities. So this is something where a lot of people have spent some time kind of cleaning up their emails and data to make sure as you are sending it out that you are kind of not sending duplicate emails. However, if you do capture multiple records, and let's see if I have any in here. But if you capture multiple records with the same email, when you go to send this, one will be highlighted yellow, alerting you that you have captured two of the same email. And there's a like warning. Other questions here. What happens when a customer clicks unsubscribe? Will MMC keep track of unsubscribed customers? I.e., if next time I filter 500 customers that I send it to those 500, will the unsubscribed customers not receive it? That is exactly correct. If somebody unsubscribes, the record will get labeled with unsubscribed. So if, for example, I click on Matt Snift here, he will have a label indicating that he has unsubscribed. You would also be able to see here, I can manually unsubscribe somebody. Maybe they responded and said, take me off this list, but didn't actually use the unsubscribe link. So you do have the ability to manually unsubscribe or resubscribe somebody if necessary, if there was an accident. But you will then see a label indicating that they were unsubscribed and they will be excluded from further emails unless you resubscribe them back in. Can I copy my corporate email signature to be attached to the MMC email? So what you are going to be able to do is in those settings, you can determine what is going on here. So this can include photos, hyperlinks, things like that. You might need to reformat a little bit to make sure it's kind of spaced out the way you want. But this signature section will allow you to automatically append that same email signature, that corporate one that you've used right in here, and again, including images or any bolding, hyperlinks, phone numbers, things that you have in yours. And then a question here, what populates the email list? Can I capture my corporate email list and attach to the MMC email list? Nick, I see that you're typing on that one. I'm not sure I quite understand the question. The emails are going to be coming from whatever the email values are in Map My Customers. So if you've provided us with the email for Nick DeRose or Michelle Irving, then those are going to be the emails living under the people. And same things for the companies. The companies also carry an email field. So you'll see I can have an email at the company level. Maybe this is an admin, a secretary, a more generic email, as opposed to the personal email or the work emails of my people. And then I think there may be one more or two more in the chats. Okay, awesome. Same question for the first one. Can you include a custom email signature? Yes, that is something that you can set up inside those email preferences. And can you schedule emails to send, for an instance, if you have more than 700 to send in a day? Really good question on that one. If you send more than 700, 700 is the limit, but they will drop into the queue. The queue is actually what I showed here by clicking into this email, and it will just queue itself up until the next day when you have 700 sends again. So if you send 1,000 emails, the first 700 will send, the next 300 will go the next day or the next time within your schedule send window. For example, if I scheduled it on a Friday, realized, oh, I don't want 300 emails going out on Saturday, your sending hours will determine, hey, will those exclude weekends? Will those bump over to Monday? Or should we send those out on Saturday? So you have the decision around when things are going to be sending there. Lots of really good questions. I think others can see the Q&A. If not, I can read out any other ones that maybe people had. Another question here, not currently using email, apologize if it's off topic. Can I create an email list by region, state, rep, not contacted in X days? No, that is a great question, Grant. You can create email lists essentially by just filtering down your data. So I know I came in here and kind of randomly selected different people, but maybe I want to come in here and use those filters. I could say, yeah, show me everyone who hasn't been contacted in greater than certain number of days, or show me all my companies that are in my tier A. I want to filter by everyone that's a top account, A or B, and these are the people I want to email. Obviously, if there is no email listed, because we'll see that when this loads up again. My Wi-Fi is being not high speed today. But this I've filtered down by tier A and B. If I select all of these records, I can send out emails. If there is no email listed, we will obviously just not send an email to that account because we have nowhere to put it. But that's a great question, Grant. The filters will let you focus down whether it is geographically on the map or in your list view to target specific accounts that you want to send emails to. Awesome. A couple other cool new things that are going on in here. So again, we were talking about email history today, but a lot of other things going on that are new and cool that I wanted to show you and had to set the foundation a little of what are these emails. One other thing I do want to show before we dive into the email tab is actually in the planner view. Now, previously, when you sent out emails, it would log the activity on the Map My Customers record, on the contact, or on the company. However, if you saw, you previously had a whole bunch of email activities show up on your planner, show up in your list view. And if you sent 500 emails, well, that got really busy. And also, if you were trying to see, okay, I sent 500 emails, who opened this? Who responded or clicked my links that I included in there? It wasn't super easy. Now, what we've done in the planner list view, you do have the ability, you'll see I've got a little plus button here. I could expand this out and see the 4 separate emails that I've sent, or I can click right in here. That's going to bring up a little bit of a summary for me. I can see that Nick has opened my email, but Matt, Angelo, and Kim have not. I didn't include any hyperlinks, so nothing is going to be clicked because there wasn't anything clickable. But now I get a more holistic view. Again, to get to this, I went into the planner and into the list. And this, again, allows you to click in and see how have the general public, how have the people that have received this email interacted with this. So yesterday, I sent this email to 3 people. Kim opened it and Angelo opened it, and I sent an email about Halloween. And these are the 2 people who opened it. So again, instead of having to open up Angelo and open up Grant and open up Kim and see, hey, did they open this email? I now have a bit more of a summary view. Let's get into why we're actually here. The new section here is going to be a new tab. You might have noticed this new tab. You might not have, and that's okay. You might have noticed it on mobile. It's a little bit different. Previously, when you opened up a record, you had your 5 different tabs: details, activities, relationships, notes, and files. We now have our new tab of emails. Inside this emails tab, you are going to see 2 different sections. The first thing you are going to see is the sent tab, or well, the inbox tab or the sent tab. The sent tab here is going to show you anything that has been sent from Map My Customers. You can see the same information that was logged or captured in that summary. So I can see that Nick has opened this email. And I can also click in to see a little bit more about this email or about the thread itself, especially if this is something that has gone larger and more back and forth. If I open up Kim Hayes here, I can see inside of my inbox tab other emails that have been sent or responded to. You can see this is my personal email linked to my work email. So I've got things about my 401k showing up in here. But any emails sent between the email that you have set up in your preferences. So for me, this is my personal email. Any emails sent between your email that has been set up in Map My Customers and that were sent either with Map My Customers or external of Map My Customers will appear in that inbox tab. This is where you will also see replies. If I sent that email yesterday to Kim Hayes and I invited her to that in-person event, well, I can see in my inbox tab or in that sent tab that she replied, and she being me. But here was that email I sent inviting them to Halloween. I said, join me October 31st. Happy Halloween. And then Kim Hayes replied and said, sounds awesome. Count me in. Let's see if Nick, I think you were maybe going to reply. We'll see if we've got your reply there. There we go. You'll see before when I clicked on Nick, the inbox was empty. Nick has now responded to my email. So it is pretty live where Nick responded. And now I can see that Nick has sent me an email and responded to, hey, Nick, I'm going to be in New York City next week. Would love to see you. Nick said, hey, Kim, can't wait. I'll see you in NYC next week. I get the full picture. Nick did not respond in Map My Customers. He is my client. I sent him an email and he in Outlook or Gmail responded to what I sent to him. And now I have all that email history. That's where that name of the webinar comes from. Inside of Map My Customers, I can quickly reference back and forth chains. Did they reply to this? Did they not? And I can even reply right in here. I can say, okay, awesome. Awesome. Let's grab coffee. And that is going to send out. I will also have a little checkbox there. I went a little fast, but to even create an additional email activity inside of Map My Customers. If I'm going back and forth all day, I might not want to send or create 50 different activities. I might count this as kind of one email thread. But if you want to create additional activities with your reply, you can do so. Again, the sent section will show me anything sent from Map My Customers. And if there are replies to that sent email, the inbox will include any email, even if it happened external of Map My Customers. Even if I did not send Nick that initial email from Map My Customers, I just emailed him externally, separately. That will show up in my inbox for me. Nick, I would probably put that question to you and wait until you answer on that one. It might even need engineering. I don't know, but you might know the answer because you're jazzier than me. The question in the chat was about single sign-on, so I will wait for Nick on that. And then Grant, yes. So just to clarify, all emails, even if they have nothing to do with MMC. So let me dive into what will get captured. Based on the email here, any emails that Nick DeRose and I have interacted with will show up in the inbox section. From a company perspective, it will actually capture at the domain level. So if I open up ABC Company, all the inbox section or the inbox section is going to show me all emails of anyone with that domain. So Kim at Map My Customers, or even other users, because the email domain here is that Map My Customers domain. So it is going to show things that happened external of sending them in Map My Customers. You will only see your emails. So if somebody else from your company has sent out an email, you are not seeing those in the inbox section. You are just seeing the emails between the email you've set up in your settings and the one listed on the record itself. And then the SSO question, how does this work with single sign-on and having to use two-factor authentication expiring every 24 hours for my organization and Office 365? Single sign-on should not affect any email sending or email history. The email address being used is tied to your connected email setup in the preferences. So again, that is that email that when I toggle over to the settings, we are tying in any emails between what you have connected. So again, this is my personal just for the sake of today's demo, but connected between this email and the email listed on that person or company record. Joanna question here. Can leadership see all emails to/from a particular domain in one spot? I do believe, Nick, it is just your own emails. You're connecting your own personal inbox. Is that correct? And so the leadership does not see everyone else's email, but I will let you.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, it's all personal to just you. So only the emails that you see, only you can see.
And then Grant, to your question, so .gov or .mil, concerned about some sensitive data there. If those emails exist inside of Map My Customers, it may just be areas where you don't want those emails to exist in there. Or we could definitely make a note about that one though, and just take that one as a kind of piece of feedback. Great question, Ping. Can leadership see the status of emails in the planner/list metrics? Yes. So leadership is able to see the email metrics that are captured by the activities that were logged. So when I sent an email out to Nick DeRose, I did automatically log a Map My Customers activity. And that is going to be an email activity that was shown there in the planner. And under the activities tab here, I will see that Coming to New York email activity. As a leader, I would be able to see that specific email activity, and I could report on and say, hey, Kim sent 50 emails today and Alexa sent 40 emails today. And those are going to be based on the Map My Customers activity that is documented or captured when you're sending out your bulk email. And then I think, yeah, Nick is answering that one, and we'll make the note about the .gov.mil. Awesome. Other questions. These are really good questions. So I appreciate it because I know a lot of times I'll hold the webinar and, well, no, people are typically good about asking questions here, but sometimes, won't get a lot of questions. So questions are awesome. Give us feedback. Other things. And then, okay, awesome. Oop. Sorry, hit a weird button on Zoom. Can leadership see all emails to/from a particular domain in one spot? Okay, I think I did answer that one. That is, you can see your own emails that have gone back and forth there. That you could see as leadership the email activity in Map My Customers, those metrics, and if that body of the email was included there. And then the chat. Can I see what it looks like on the app/on my iPad? Yes, great transition. I am going to be doing it on my mobile, so this is not going to be on the iPad version, so it's just a little bit more condensed. But let's flip ourselves over to the mobile version. And thank you, Brian. It's like I asked you to segue me there. Let me share my mobile screen. And we'll kind of take a step back and do kind of some of the same things we saw before. So first thing I'll show here before is going to be, first thing I'm going to show here is going to be that summary. Just like you saw on the desktop version, here I'm seeing that activity coming to NYC. It was multiple emails, and if I click into it, I can see that I've got those different emails summarized. So it looks a little bit different because it's a mobile, so it's going to be a little bit smaller. But I can see now 2 out of 4 people have opened my email, so very exciting for me. But I can see that summary by clicking on the activity here in the Today section, or over in that Activities tab, bottom right corner. Again, we've consolidated it, so it is not 50 different, 100 different email activities showing up here, but this is representative of the 4 activities. And when I click in to open it up, I can see that there truly are 4 activities that we've just collapsed into one, but you can open up and see kind of that planner summary, essentially. Within a record itself, if I open up ABC Company here, I again have those different tabs. So sliding left and right, I can see there is an email tab here now. And within that company, I've got Kim Hayes, where I can slide over and see the same different tabs, inbox or sent. Again, ignore my Empower and retirement alerts that are connected to my a personal and my work email. But I can see under that in emails, I can see my inbox tab, getting everything, whether it was sent from At My Customers or not, or toggle over to that sent tab. I can see in that sent tab the different emails I have sent from At My Customers, and I can click in and see any. I guess I did not respond to myself actively while I was on this call, which makes sense. So let me open up the Nick record. I can go in and see those threads just like I saw it here. Hey, Nick, this was me, Albus Dumbledore, our admin account here. And Nick said, can't wait to see you. I said, awesome, let's grab coffee. Again, those different options to reply here. So if I would like to reply directly to this thread from my mobile app, same functionality we just saw on the desktop version. In regards to sending emails from the mobile app, again, that is heavily covered in the initial webinar. But as a quick overview here, you are able to send emails from the mobile app. You are going to use the lasso here. So I did it from the list view on web. You could have used the lasso on the web as well on the web map. But you'll see as I lasso up these records, I get this option here to send emails, which is going to allow me to go through that exact same process I did before of seeing who I've added, of writing up my subject, or even choosing from one of my templates that I've created before. I can then go in and send the emails right from here as well. My colleagues will be like start sending me slacks of like stop sending me fake emails if I continue to blast them there. So you can email from the mobile app. It is going to be the map with the lasso. The desktop version is the map with the lasso or the list view options. You can get those summary planner summaries in the mobile app, and then you can also see those same tabs, inbox versus sent, inside the mobile app as well. There's a couple other questions here. Would you please resend the link for the video from the original email webinar? I do think, Megan, that would be a good idea. If in that recap email, we want to send out both, I think it'll probably give everyone the full picture. So I really like that idea, Jennifer, and we can definitely send out that information. Other things here in the Q&A. This allows the customers to reply back going to the rep's email rather than the central email. Maybe is part of, oh, okay, that was part of a second thing ping. So sorry, I was reading half of a piece of feedback. Nick is noting feedback as product side here, so we will take that feedback there. Chris Smith, when you send emails through MMC, either to individuals or groups for mass marketing, how does it appear in the recipient's inbox? Same as emails through Outlook or through MMC? Exactly right. Great question. If you send it through MMC, we are just sending it via Gmail or via your Outlook, via your normal provider. That is where in your settings, when you first make the connection, you are linking At My Customers to your normal inbox, and it will look no different than if you sent it from Outlook or Gmail, if you send it in At My Customers, because we are actually sending it through Outlook or through Gmail. So it looks exactly the same as normal. They would know, or they would never know if it was from At My Customers or not. And then just a little bit of feedback there on the summary, I think. Is there a way to resize the columns in the planner list for the list of accounts that have opened and selected the hyperlink? So we can definitely take that feedback down, Ping. Just probably like a design feedback. Awesome. This was everything I wanted to show today. There are articles and videos on setting up your bulk email. There are articles and videos on sending bulk emails from web, from mobile. The articles have been updated in the areas where that email history lives. I will probably work on creating just a full separate article that describes everything going on there. We will publish this recording as well inside the knowledge base. We will also send it out. I think there's another chat. And then does it auto create a new contact if the email recipient is not an MMC? No, it is only going, it's going to kind of work in inverse of that, Jennifer. If there is no email, we will not send any email. So you would need to create the contact in Map My Customers first, and then you're able to send an email. This is off topic, but while I'm here, a little tip trick. In the upper right corner on your mobile app, so if you're on your iPad or if you're on your cell phone version, there is an option to import device contacts. So if you do have emails or people in your cell phone or in your iPad contact list that you want to bring into Map My Customers, I think this is one that kind of gets slept on a little bit. People aren't super aware that it's there. But this will actually allow you to pull in contacts. So if you do have their email somewhere else, you can. But you will need to create the contact first, then you can email them and Map My Customers. Maybe there was one more in the Q&A, or maybe it was Nick answering. Okay, and Nick, but it was just you answer. Awesome. I will stop my share there. Any other questions we can answer today? And feel free to chat, throw your hand up, whatever it might be. Like I said, recorded, we'll be sending this out. Thank you for whoever clapped. We'll be sending this out. I like that idea from Jennifer, include the past email webinar as well, just at the link, the resources. So we'll make sure you guys have kind of everything holistically in one spot to get started here. If there are any other questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to your account manager or the support team. They can just be reached support@mapmycustomers.com. You can also reach them in app through the in-app chat or through the web chat, which is just the little help bubble bottom right corner. Really appreciate all the questions and also the feedback. Again, a lot of the things I showed today were feedback that came from you guys. So please continue to give it to us. It always helps us to continue to grow, change, make the tool a lot better for you all. So thank you so much. Really appreciate everyone's time. I'll sit tight for a second, but feel free to leave and make sure there's no last minute questions. But thank you. And thank you, Nick. Awesome. Ernest trickling out. Megan is like, Kim, this is the part I'm gonna have to cut now. Thanks a lot. Awesome. I will close it out then. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate the time today. Oh, wait, did I miss one? Are duplicates being created in my email client, i.e. Gmail? So the email is just going to send once, Grant. So if you send out an email through Map My Customers, it's not sending one from Map My Customers and one from Gmail. Map My Customers is sending one singular email kind of through Gmail, like via Gmail. So it's not duplicating the emails that are going out. The replies are going to be the same way. So someone replies in Gmail, it's just kind of reflecting or mirroring that information inside of Map My Customers. Thanks, Grant. Good to see you. Awesome. I think we're good here. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. I'll close it out now.
Good job.
Yep, great job.